Alright guys, this time I'm back out along me favourite local river, the Wanney River. Sounds like an Al Jolson song. Mommy, how I love you, my dear old Wanney. Never mind. Anyway, I'm meeting up with Damien, the fell wanderer. And hopefully Davey, the Chivy Yeti's coming along on this one. I'm not too sure yet. Anyway, so we're just going to the secret undisclosed location. I think we're going to set up camp first because it is forecast for the odd thunderstorm today. So if we get that sorted and everything's dry, then we can just start and chill a little bit. Get the fishing rods set up. Do a little bit of fishing, a bit banter, a few tinnies. You know, the usual sort of like shite and tank and shite and that sort of thing. So anyway, we'll catch you further on, and should be quite a good one.
Among the folks in CIX, I even know my mammy's waiting for me, praying for me down by the Swanee. The folks up north won't see me no more when I get to that Swanee shore.
I'm just having a little bit of recce here before Damien lands. Oh, I've just seen a kingfisher there. This is the ugly side of it, obviously used by people that just didn't give a shit about the countryside and just leave all the crap lying around. Spoils it for everyone else, but that's just something what you've just got to put up with, really. Right, here we are at Damien's actually just made a valid point there, what we're going to call this camp. So we're going to call it Camp Hellemet. Here he is, Helmet 1, Helmet 2.
Camp Hellemet.
I'm out with a man here. We're going to do a spot of fishing. We've already got our rods set up and what have you. We've just set up camp. Like I say, because I think it is forecast for a little bit of thunder and what have you, so at least everything's going to be dry under here. So
we might totally miss it, but if we do catch this storm, it's going to be heavy. It may be really heavy for only 30 minutes or so, but apparently it's all across UK, the potential of heavy rain. So
I think it surge low as well. If we hadn't set this up, it'll probably piss it down. So now that we have got it set up and everything's going to be relatively dry, I think we'll probably be okay. So so yeah, that's we're pretty much set up. So here we are. We've got like a couple of seats here what we've like stashed away. This is our like communal area. So we've got our big top here. You know, no fancy, no posh, you know, just I think you can just get too caught up into doing things sort of like protocol, but it serves the purpose. So I've got me like little army bivvy there. My sleeping bag inside, so that's basically where I'm going to be kept the night. That's Damien's. He's went for the more comfortable, luxurious sort of like raised camp bed there, which he had stashed. So I mean they're pretty much both the same sort of setups. Yeah. But this is my camera here. I haven't really done too much of a gear review about it, but it's a Nikon D5600 DSLR camera. I've got the kit lens on the day. It's not automatic focus, so I have to like toy around with the focus a little bit. Pardon me. Had a few beers. It's got one of these articulated viewfinders here, which is quite good, and it's also got like a built-in time lapse as well. So not that I'll be doing any like night lapses or anything like that, but anyway, that's That's come along on this one. So like I say, it's an articulated viewfinder. So you can have it back there as well.
Tell the truth, you're a bit of a bird twitcher.
I'm a bit of a bird twitcher.
Tell anybody where it is.
It's called Duffer's Fortnight because it's for like idiots like me that find it hard to catch fish. Apparently during Duffer's Fortnight, when you get all the mayfly hatches, you can't fail to catch a fish, but you know. Well, that's me telescopic fly rod there with my reel on, and I've got a little mayfly imitation on there. So I'll probably have about half an hour on the fly, then probably change to bait fishing, maybe stick a worm on. Get yourself out while camping, do it now. So this is my little vintage French Army rucksack. It's a 60 litre. I've never really done like a gear review on it, so I'll just quickly run through all of its features. It's got this waterproof membrane on the bottom, so you can basically just stand it on the floor without the fear of any of your gear getting wet. It's basically like a bucket pack. It hasn't got any side pouches or anything like that. It's got an extendable top here as well, with a couple of straps. It's actually reversible around, and so the top part's waterproof as well. It's like the same sort of material as the bottom. And it's also got like a side handle, so you can actually use it as like a kit bag as well. Got these like cushioned support systems, heavy duty straps, and I think it was only about 30 quid from one of them ex-army surplus stores in Newcastle. So so yeah, it's not too bad actually. I've changed tactics, given up on the fly, so I've went back to the fixed spool with a worm on the end. So I'm at this deep hole here. There's fish in there, it's just enticing them out.
It's like tickling them.
Tickling them, aye.
That's what our early ancestors would have done.
Yeah, bit of trout,
Tickle them into submission.
bit of trout tickling.
Yeah.
Well, like a little bit of slap and tickle. Plenty of mayflies. Neck and belly. Neck and belly. Hey, see, Damien's getting knocks. There's plenty of mayfly hatches, but there's no fish rising. I've had about half an hour on the fly, but now dying, so that's why I've changed tactics. I've just put one of Damien's worms on. Damien's had a couple of knocks, but we reckon they just smell fish.
Right. When I struck before, it was a flash on the aim, but it was little. It's warm enough, like as the hatching everywhere, the mayfly, but there doesn't seem to be much getting took. I don't think there's any decent sized fish in here now, you know.
Nah, I don't either. It's been done to death, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's never recovered since they broke the salmon jump. It's never been the same since.
Aye.
This is probably the only decent stretch we've got.
Aye.
You know, any kind of, I remember this place before the salmon jump was broken. It was like some really nice deep pools, and on it, if you had the Polaroid glasses, you could look under the trees. I was 2-3 pounders, so they were like that.
Aye.
Sitting under the trees. You haven't got any of them now.
I think what we needed was like a day where it just rained constantly, just to clear the water through.
The water level has dropped quite a bit.
Aye. So we've caught now just yet, anyway, but our hopes are still high.
Never had the next spinner run up hat a few.
Aye.
I don't want to start doing that, like, it's not my thing. But
Nah.
illegal. I've never had to legally fish because I'm one of these people. If I catch something, I'm happy. If I don't catch something, I'm happy.
Aye.
And that's what it's all about. Just being out here and doing it. Just, you know, it's just getting
The
out
enjoyment of fishing.
Yeah.
It just adds a little bit of something different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it's nice to catch something, but like before you saw a kingfisher.
Aye.
You know, even if you haven't caught a fish today, at least you saw the kingfisher. At least you've been out and enjoyed the.
It's been memorable.
Side, yeah.
Aye. Just being at one with nature.
Yeah.
There's plenty of little fish rising, but I think they're just taking the odd mayfly off the top. But we'll see how it goes.
I'm going to give it a bit longer this time because I'm sure that there's little fish.
I think they're just nibbling away at the edges. Well, I don't think we're going to catch an out on this occasion anyway. It's still nice just to get out and try a bit of fishing, like. Damien's just caught an eel. That's probably what's been nibbling his line.
Aye, and I haven't been able to hook it properly.
Aye.
I just swallowed the hook.
No, I think it's just on the end.
I might just cut the line, you know, look at it start to slime up.
Oh, I hate the things, me, like.
And,
I'll let you have the chore taking that off.
I've never caught an eel this far up the Wanney, like.
Aye. And probably in a survival situation you could eat it, like.
Eat it raw.
Aye.
Bear
Bear Grylls style.
He would eat that raw, wouldn't he, Bear Grylls?
He would have done, aye.
Should I eat it raw?
Go on
Should I
then.
bite its head off? Nah.
Ozzy Osbourne, born, I bite its head off.
See, it's starting to plummet it. I didn't want to kill it, I'm just kind of... In fact, I'm not even
Just
going to get...
cut the line as far to the mouth as you can.
Yeah. And then give it a chance to live.
Because the hook will just disintegrate after a few days anyway, won't it?
I don't know.
Well, that's a theory anyway.
trying to find the scissors.
Well, at least there's something in this river. It's not trout, it's eels. At least it gives you a little bit of sport anyway.
Yeah. I can't even feel the end of the hook, so I'm not going to be able to get it out.
Just snip it as far to the head as possible. Boosh. It'll find its own way to the water, won't it?
It's in the water there now. Well,
Oh.
at least I found something.
Alright, exactly. It gives you a little bit of inspiration, like, doesn't it? Could have sworn I just heard a cheviot yeti there, like. Cheesy bell end.
Hat 1, hat 2.
Hat 3, 3 hats. Who's again? Alright.
All nice to see you again, man. Right, wasn't it? The shark. Shark. You've got the shark, definitely.
Yeah, Damien possibly could have a fish on here.
You seem to take, and then they can, it's like they just like have a bite and then that's it. I noticed a few jumping when I was coming up.
Aye, there was a decent one just jumped over there. It was a keeper, like.
It's like they just come on the feed, like
In the nest.
You seem to not touch the mayfly now. All of a sudden, there's loads of them rising.
Like, if you eat like a load of Chinese, you get sick of it, didn't you?
Aye.
Can you not just like tell your lads that you've got lost?
Right here we are, we're just getting the fire away there,
Just tell her you're camped on the edge of reality.
which we're going to be cooking on.
You're on you.
We're back at the camp after a miserable day's fishing. None of us is caught out. We're full of shite, we're caught out. It's starting to get dark now. Davey's still here, but it's just a flying visit. He really wants to stop, like, but he's fighting with his cell at the minute. Fighting with his cell. Damien getting his camera set up there because he knows it makes sense for to get a bit of footage in.
Oh look, Illuminati.
Getting some footage in before we're too monged.
I am a man. My body is my tool.
My body is my temper.
I'm thinking.
And that's my...
Before we get you on film, and then your last night you've been here. You're like,
No to do with it.
well, it's been an interesting visit.
Short but sweet.
Shame we didn't get any footage, but we're talking shite, mainly me, because I was talk shite.
The pirate here. The
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Cheviot Yeti pirate.
No, happy now.
Oh, that looks nice.
I haven't got my hat
Oh,
today.
I want to stop.
Because you're the fire starter. You like to be able to like mess with fires. It's a primeval instinct, isn't it? Messing with fires.
Certainly is. I'm homed in.
You're a homo.
No. I'm a homo. Homo sapien.
Homo erectus, that's me, innit? Yes. Carry that like El Chico axe. See, I know how to sharpen axes, don't I?
Nah.
That's the only bit of bushcraft that's been done all day. That there.
Aye, and the trees crying.
Yeah,
I like crafting bushes.
you're quite crafty, aren't you?
Especially when I've had a few crafty beers.
Fire well and truly alight.
I think you should just stop, Davey. We'll knock your bed up. Actually, you can sort of spread the sleeping bag, but you lie with me in the sleeping bag.
Wake up in the morning with sore arse and the father in his back pocket.
It's a tenner now.
That soon.
It's a tenner.
That soon. Oh, tenner, aye. Inflation.
You know, inflation.
That's a good fire, that, isn't it?
It's quite good, that, actually.
1 hour out.
It's a bonfire, that. See, if it wasn't for you, Davey, you wouldn't have a fire.
No.
Because you are the, like, fire starter.
Say that, because you know it makes sense. That's where it's at. There.
This is where it's at, isn't it? This is why we come wild camping. And it was actually a thrill. And Davey just arrived. I don't know how he put it there. We were like.
He sniffed what out.
Right, it wasn't hard, was it? Right, might have been.
He always seems to find it when the camps are like, you probably had X-ray vision or some kind of like telepathy. Yeah.
He sort of like goes with the force, doesn't he?
Well, I think it might have had something to do with text message that said where I am. Now again, you see? Sort of.
We are camping. I hope you can turn up and come camping. But then you said that you can't come camping because you have other duties.
I've got things to do, people to see.
He's got more important things to do than being out in the woods.
We're just
Well,
commoners,
us two guys, we're just commoners.
Common shit.
We're just
common
common
Look,
shite. He
I
doesn't want
turned
to
up here.
fraternise with her anymore.
Oh God. What a bunch of gateses to walk.
Or just a bunch of helmets. Camping on the edge of reality, as usual. In this wonderful hidden location.
Hidden, undisclosed location
This is
somewhere along the Wanney.
We're actually glamping because we're basically going downhill with our skills. We've actually got gas. We're cooking on gas later. But you see, we've actually got a fire going because
Who's this, Ashley?
I don't know.
We keep on mentioning her name. I just want to know who she is.
Actually, I said, I think.
Actually,
Ashley.
Ashley. He was on
Actually.
Emmerdale, wasn't he? Ashley.
We've got a fire going.
He was the
because
priest of Emmerdale.
He was.
We've got this fire going because in the day we thought we were going to have a barbecue, but it's actually going to start chucking it down heavy. So,
You're getting a bit ambitious there, Damien, aren't you?
where it's at. We need to get a good bit of cool.
There you can.
At least that can be kind of burnt on the side, perhaps.
Aye. All the moisture will just evaporate with the heat, won't it? And it'll just...
I think we'll let that burn down. That'd be a good bit of coals to get some cooking like.
I think it's just the job, horse's nub.
There's probably enough on there now, like, to have a bit of a barbecue later.
Aye, definitely.
So I may have a bit chilly for a little bit.
Get yourself out in the woods and do a little bit of wild camping. Because you know it makes sense.
What's it? You're cooking in there, that's hot. Yeah.
It's rice. So I've got my chops and my sausages. We've got some rice in here. Oh, that's really hot, that. Shit.
I think that handle's red hot, like.
I'm going to have to pick it up with something like...
Gloves or something.
Aye. When you're cooking sausages on here, there's a fine balance between overcooking them and undercooking them. You've just got to get it right. Because there's no like heat control, is there? You've just got like constant heat.
I've had a sausage fall in the fire and a chop fall in the
I
fire.
have.
And I mean,
I'm still going to eat it.
it'll be a bit gritty, but
It just adds to the flavour, man, doesn't it?
If it doesn't stick in your throat, it won't kill you, you know.
That's it, like.
As long as it's everything sterile.
Looks a bit charred on the outside, but well cooked on the inside. That's what matters. Now you'd be stuck at home watching Britain's Got Talent, or out here doing this.
I would say we've got more talent than Britain's Got Talent.
This is where the talent's at, right here.
Because we can actually cook good food on a fire and we can do a sing song afterwards on the guitars.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a shame I brought the guitars tonight, like. Bit of a logistical nightmare to do a bit of wild camping, fishing and playing guitars, so we've got to pick and choose.
I think it would have been. You can open up too many files and you can just start getting a little bit chaotic then, can't it?
Yeah, we can't learn too much from it.
There's a lot involved in this bushcraft malarkey, like these wild camps. It might look easy sat at home, but there's a lot goes into it. It's coming on nicely. Rice, rice, baby. Rice, rice, baby. Chop time.
Chop faster. I just want a Yeti to come and find me now, like.
That would be the cherry on the cake, wouldn't it? To find a Yeti.
A Sasquatch. Or
A Sasquatch.
A UK wild man. I believe that. I think they're real, you know. Are you filming, are you?
Mm-hmm.
See, they're real. So you can put that in your video as well. People don't think I'm crazy. You don't get the impression before it was like too much, like.
Aye.
Like set up a camp, we had a camp going, then we had a fishing trip as well, and then it was just like too much going on.
Aye.
And then Davey turns up, so it was good crack with Davey, and then we had to go to the shop, so it was like it's just too much, isn't it, when you think about it? And then we had a drone and we're gonna fly the drone as well. You know, like I was telling you about the last trip, how like I mixed too much into the equation to the point where I was just like I wasn't focused enough on one particular task. And I was actually getting sidetracked too much and I was tired and
Aye.
I wasn't at my best.
I think because we had a couple of beers when we first got here, and as they started to wear off, we started getting a bit tired and a bit lethargic.
Instead of just focusing on drinking, which is what we should have done.
Aye.
Because we should have realised we're both shite at fishing and we'll never catch now.
I never catch now. I suppose the one thing I can do is cook a bit. I haven't proven myself on the fishing side of things. Like,
Are you any good at doing dishes?
No, I've got one. I can do that.
That's sexist, that, you know.
And I'll probably get a thumbs down for that. Like,
does all that subscribe, does she?
I think she has. Aye.
Yeah.
She has sneaky peeks every now and then at my videos and has a bit of a chuckle.
Everybody I sub to and everybody I watch, Mandy watches as well, because we do tend to watch a lot of stuff upstairs in bed. So she, even though she might be reading a book, she's like what I'm like with her when she's got her soaps on. I'm kind of paying half attention. Sometimes I'm listening to what the soap. I can't help but get it drawn into what the soaps is doing. So even though I don't like soaps, I tend to know a little bit what's going on, and because of that I'm a sad person.
My stepdaughter Tanya's just recently subscribed to my channel, and our lad Decker, who's probably watching this video, seen the last video when we're here, and he says, "Oh look, there's that lad," because he watches your videos, you know, all your Yeti stuff.
There's
He
that
says,
hat.
"Oh, there's that lad."
That lad from
with
Gateway.
Paul, aye. So we're back out again
For another wild cat.
for another wild camping, bushcrafting, fishing, talking shite, drinking lots of crafty beers escapade.
No, never changes. It's just like the same shit, different day.
It is. It's
What-
SSDD, isn't it?
We're not the best, but we're kind of like good. We're kind of good at talking shite, and I suppose we're good at something.
Northern humour, isn't it?
So, what's the name of this camp anyway? Have we decided on a name?
Camp Hellemet.
Camp Hellemet.
Nah, is that? Do you reckon?
I don't know.
Anybody watching this video, start putting your
Camp Foreskin.
Camp Foreskin.
Camp Bellend. Camp of the Bellenders. You know, if we
An
wanted to be,
end.
if we wanted to keep it old Englishy type thing, we would call it like a, what would Bellend would be in Old English? Nah.
Belisendus.
Camp of the Belisenders or
Do
something.
you know what the Latin name is for a common daisy? Bellis perennis.
Dennis Pennis.
Bellis perennis. That's the Latin name for a common daisy.
I wonder
Or
if,
everlasting bell end.
so where did
Bellis
Latin come
perennis.
from? Was that the Greeks and the Romans? Is that, did they like invent Latin? Did they obviously promote Latin? Latin might have been an earlier language.
They might have done. I'm not too sure of its origins.
I mean,
And that's like a universal language, what everyone understands, isn't it?
yeah. I think the Greek and the Romans did Latin because that could have been a common language from an earlier language, if you know what I mean. Like the Sumerians, they were the first ones to do language, weren't they?
Aye.
Through their ancient texts and that. That was your range.
I mean the ancient Greeks as well. You know, I mean, so much is attributed to them, you know.
I'm a bit of a bronze god, me, like.
Bronze god.
I reckon, like. I must be the bronze god in an earlier life, like.
It doesn't matter.
Because I'm tall, dark and sophisticated.
You know, at the end of the day, right, to me, it's not about looks or charisma or anything like that or money. It's all about the size of your cock.
It is, and how much
You know?
money you got in your pocket.
But no, I mean, if you're rich and intelligent and this, that and t'other, if you got a small cock, it's not going to last, is it really?
Your money might help, but then again, if a woman was after a certain type of guy because of his sexual prowess, I think it doesn't matter how big your member was, she would get sick of you eventually and go elsewhere because she wants that constant like excitement.
Fulfillment.
Aye, and I don't think that type of woman could get that from any one man alone.
No.
I think an air rifle here, you see now the pigeons are all coming in out the roost. It's a canny roost.
Right, that's it. All finished and done with. Back at the car. Rain stopped now. So I'm just going to say ta-da to Damien, and I'm at work at 10 o'clock. I'm not looking forward to it, like, but has to be done.
This is where it's at.
This is where it's at.
And we'll see you on the next
See you on the next one. Watch what you're doing. Cheers. You know it makes sense. See you later.